It entered their bunker, and they have enough manpower, arm power, rather. They can just keep shooting at the thing until it dies. That was really cool. Hey, Tits
Hey, I'm Areolas.
doing Tremors. Tremors.
Ooh, ooh.
When was the first time you watched Tremors?
Probably when I was a kid, maybe like the first half of it, and then I got scared and didn't watch it anymore.
Oh.
What about you?
Someone requested me watch this recently. I hadn't seen it before. There's big worms in this movie. There's 4 of them.
Oh yeah, huge worms.
They're big. They cause tremors or earthquakes. And they're basically they're just terrorizing the town.
Yeah, this tiny little town.
I like how this movie is just about it's how they're getting rid of the worms that I like the most. Cuz it's very trial and error. There's such a simple premise. There are 4 worms in the earth causing tremors. Got to get rid of them because they're killing everybody. And the movie is their attempt. But the way that the movie is set up and the way that it's edited, I like the way that it's established, and then I like how they made the tension happen.
Mm-hmm. No, I love the concept of it's daytime, it's bright as hell, and you're scared. Like most your typical scary movie, it's dark the whole time. There's an unknown monster, and that's pretty much how it is here too. For a good portion of the movie, you don't know what's under the ground, or it is something under the ground, but they don't know what the threat is. When they finally do, it's even scarier, and that's I don't know. That's what makes it like really cool. Is that like even at the night they're not afraid. They were there sleeping fine when they were like stuck on a rock in the dark. It's just the daytime when they're like, touching the ground is when they're scared.
Yeah, exactly. I like the power scaling of the worms. Like they can I don't know if they can go through hard concrete, like really thick concrete, like that one worm bashed his head in to like a concrete and that killed him. That was how the first one got killed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, they can't really interact with concrete very well. But if you have, let's say, like a manufactured home or a trailer, they can topple that.
Yeah, it sets these rules really well, and it makes it to where you and then the fact that like later on the worms are like getting smarter to where even when you're inside of a building, they find out more than without just vibration and without other senses. They fucking are narrowing down where people are, even without vibrations.
Yeah, I like how they're pretty much blind, but they have like a really fine sense of feeling the vibrations. There's also I remember like the tactic middle of the movie is like, hey, we got to get on the roofs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember this one scene in particular. We got the couple who has a bunch of guns. They have so many guns. Like bazookas, every weapon you can name, they have.
Mm-hmm.
And the worm goes in there. And I'm like, first of all, I don't think it's clear how it got in there because isn't it concrete? But they can go through really thin concrete. They just can't go through thick concrete.
Yeah.
So, it entered their bunker, and they have enough manpower, arm power, rather. They can just keep shooting at the thing until it dies. That was really cool.
Oh yeah, they shot the shit out of it. They were shooting it with everything they just had there. It was pretty hilarious that and it took what, like the huge elephant gun and like two or three fucking casings from that gun to just blow its brain out.
I wonder if they should have just used the elephant gun in the first place. Why did they like go use all the weapons? They're just out of ammo now. Ammo costs so much money.
Hmm.
Uh, they're gonna have to re up on all of that.
I mean, but this was their retirement. They were rowdy doomsday preppers to where this is, I mean, not this particular situation. They had no idea it was going to be worms. But they were waiting
Right.
for a threat to come towards them, and they finally got to just unload like crazy into a graboid. That's what they were calling them.
Yeah, they definitely released some tension. Well, not like years long tension of like, and they're just building up. Oh, we're gonna shoot these guns eventually, and then they did, and then now all of that pent up energy is just released.
Speaking of release, I really like the part where that girl, her pants have to be taken off, and it's kind of a little throwaway joke, like take off your pants, and it's like this sexual tension between the main characters and her she's just in her panties running from
Yeah, that was
these
funny.
worms.
I like all of the little interactions between all of the characters. I feel like there's a little bit of miscommunication going on sometimes, and if there wasn't that miscommunication, then I think they would have dealt with the worms quicker,
Mm.
or at least the less people would have been injured or their houses destroyed if there was any communication. But they build up the communication, and they have to in order to like destroy the last worm.
And there's a lot of where they're learning along with us, like that's what I enjoyed. It seemed believable, these characters were, oh, they're learning right now, or this and that, and you get to learn along with them, and they don't make you feel stupid like, oh, we just gave you the exposition of, oh, these worms are weak to this, oh, we just found that out, we're in this together, basically.
Yeah, and it ends on a nice note. There's no more earthworms. Well, there are earthworms. There's no more earth shaking worms. Uh, which is fun. They could just live their lives. I wonder if I feel like there's sequels to this movie I haven't seen,
Oh yeah.
but here's some speculation. I really hope that there's some paranoia about the worms returning before they return. That'd be pretty interesting. Like, oh, what if they come back even though they're like gone? All of them are gone.
I love that, like, none of them, like, the girl that's the scientist kind of has a little bit of, oh man, we just found the discovery of the century, or the millennia, but they all like really don't care. They just want to kill these things. They don't know if they're the last ones. They don't know if they're endangered species. They're just like, it's us or them. We need to fucking kill these creatures,
I mean, yeah. I wonder, where did they come from? Are they like some sort of alien species or something that
Mhm.
came from from another planet, or did it evolve here? The existence of these worms raises so many questions.
But that's what's so fun about the movie is that it doesn't really, it asks them for a second maybe, but it doesn't like dwell on it to where we're there wondering, or we're left with the movie wanting more answers,
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like an afterthought. It's like we're involved with dealing with these worms now, and then later on, now that you've dealt with them, then you can think about these worms and their origins.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
It ends up they kill them all, and then there's a little love story in between, and the guys move out of town, they save the day. I don't know.
I was mostly interested in the worm killing. I didn't care about the love story at all. I just thought it was there for the women so they could sit through the movie while their husbands enjoy the cool guns and the cool worm. And I'm like, this is a cool worm. I want that thing killed. There's 4 of them. Oh my goodness. You can kill 4 of them. That's 4 different worms you can see blow up. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Who cares about love? Worms blowing up is the way.
I liked a little love in my worm story, just a little bit. Nothing too.
How much
Just,
love do you need in your worm story?
I mean, it wasn't like they spent the night together and they had. I mean, they did, but they didn't like have sex and like, oh, I'm going to fight these worms but I love you.
I'm going to fight these worms for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're the reason that I survived because of our love. It wasn't anything like that. It's just like, oh, fuck these worms. I'm gonna
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
kill them.
Well, on a worm scale, what would you rate this?
How many
Wait,
worms?
how many worms? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Oh, out of 4 worms. I would give this 4 worms out of 4 just
You'd
because,
give it 4 worms?
yeah, I hadn't seen it in forever and I didn't even remember the ending. And it was just a good movie. I just kept, like, I was intrigued by it and it was great. What about you? How are you on the worm scale?
It's a 3.75 worm. The last worm's head is cut off.
Ah, yes, it's blown off just a
Yeah,
tad.
yeah, just with the elephant gun. That's how many worms I'd rate this movie. So there's that.
Fucking great. I don't know. This is a good movie, and we have a game here. I
Ooh,
call it Living Underground. I found some animals,
okay.
and you're gonna guess what kind of animals they are, and they all live underground. Surprisingly, because this is about
Ooh,
worms that live underground.
is one of
That's
them earthworm?
No, these are all regular, basic. Like this animal. What? This is the opposite of a worm. What do you think this
What?
is?
That's a bird.
what, what kind of bird do you think it
I don't know.
is?
It's a really pretty one.
It is. It's got a cool name. It's actually called the kingfisher. That's it. A
The
kingfisher.
kingfisher.
Kingfisher 9,000. Kingfisher 9,000. Yeah, that
Oh,
it's a type of bird that lives underground.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's
Next
cool.
here. What do you
That's
think
a
this is?
polar bear. That's a big old polar bear.
He looks a little skinny for my taste.
Uh, what do you mean? There's not a lot of food up there.
Or do I have a weird perception of polar bears' health where I think this one looks skinny, but he's probably healthy, and the other ones are overweight that I see?
What's a normal polar bear look like? Like the Coca-Cola can ones?
You know how heavy a polar bear is?
Those ones are fat, by the way. If we're
The
basing it off of that, they're fat.
Yeah, the ones that drink Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's because they drink Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah, that's a shit ton of sugar. They're diabetic probably.
Yeah.
Let's say do you know how much a polar bear weighs? Just enough to break the ice. A You get it? That's what you tell a chick if you're meeting her. You go up to, like, if I'm meeting you first and I go, hey girl, how much does a polar bear weigh? And you say, how much?
Enough to break the ice. That's a good line.
Yeah,
Because
and
you
then
just
I
broke
shake
the
your hand.
ice.
It's all professional. Next here, do you know this cool little dude?
uh, it's a big groundhog. What's the one above it? Oh man, we have them here in Kentucky. Uh, Vermont. That's a state. Uh, Vermit? Hermit? No,
Oh
that's a
no,
crab.
this is a groundhog. Do you
Groundhog?
Yeah,
What are the big ones called?
I thought they're just bigger groundhogs.
There's like literally a different species of animal.
I mean, there's like prairie dogs that are real tiny, right? And then groundhogs are pretty big, but I didn't know they had like a mega evolution or something.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty big mega evolution. It
That's a
gives
lot
it
of
like
letters.
powers to climb up walls, like Spider-Man.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's a cool upgrade.
Let's see here. Oh, do you know this
That's a
fool?
fox.
That is a fox.
They live underground.
They do. They live
Hmm.
in foxholes.
Huh.
They do. Here. Oh, You see
That's a
this little pool?
tortoise.
Yeah. How'd you know it was a tortoise? Just a tortoise in general.
Tortoise is on land.
Oh,
Turtles are in water.
I had no idea that there was. Well, I knew there was a difference, but I didn't know that they were classified like that. I ran out of things, so I just put. Do you know who this guy is?
A Doug trio.
That is a Doug trio.
All right, are we going with Pokemon for the next million?
Well, kind of, but do you know who this one is?
That's the is that the Galorian or the Alolan Doug
Uh-huh.
trio
The
variant?
Alolan Doug trio.
It's steel ground, if I remember correctly.
Man, you're a fucking pro. I love their hair. It's gorgeous.
Very elegant.
This
What the fuck is this? Is this
this
a drug trio, but like drawn
is
realistic tree?
yeah, this is a realistic Doug trio.
You know, wolves live underground. You could have done that. They live in caves. Well,
I
I
think
guess that's not
caves are
technically.
above ground.
Well, it depends on like they can go underground. They can go in a cave. They can make a burrow.
I was thinking of doing spiders too, but I didn't know how you feel about spiders.
I don't like spiders.
Yeah, spiders are
I'll
pretty.
look at them. I just don't want to interact with them.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know. They kind of gave me bad vibes. Last one on here. Here is
What the fuck? Doug trio is muscly men.
Did you not know that underneath there is he's I'm sorry. They are three muscly men underneath the Doug trio.
You've opened my eyes. I've learned new things every day, and this is the new thing that I learned today. Thank you, Lorenzo, for opening my eyes to this beautiful whatever this is. Where did you find this?
I think this is a meme that's been around for a while. That Doug trio underneath is just a bunch of muscly men hugging each other.
They look like plastic. Well, their heads look like hot dogs, and their bodies look like plastic toys.
Yeah, I think this is a figurine. This is the best one I could find. The drawing meme. I got it saved in my camera roll from like 7 years ago or something.
Oh my goodness! All right.
But if people want to see what's down below and underneath, where can they find you?
I do daily movie reviews every single day at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/ASC Presents. All of my socials can be found at autisticboobs.com.
Hell yeah. You all check her out. She's really lovely underneath it all. And I've got my podcast I do daily called That's All Funny. Anywhere podcasts are available, just search That's All Funny. That's All Kayfabe with my buddy Gabe about wrestling, and this show, Tits and Areolas and Mint Salad, every Tuesdays. Everyone check that out. Everyone check out Mint doing a nice little dance there. And I want to thank all y'all for watching and listening, and see y'all later. Take